Okay. I don't know if my cameras work, so they apparently do. I'm surprised because everything I had here was like disassembled and reassembled and in the venue. So I'm surprised that my stuff is working. Okay, guys. Guys, it's like I'm talking to 10 people. It's like not even that. So what I want to do, I'm going to turn off music in just a bit. Maybe I will talk about the deck that I have in front of me first. And unfortunately, I disassembled the deck, but I think I can reassemble it. Or can I? Don't fall down. Don't do this to me. Can't afford that right now. Yeah, this is definitely not it. Completely disassembled and in my deck piles. Let's check. No, I do not. Where's my DDD deck? So we can talk about the list and what I played and some of why I played it, which was what I planned to right now, but can't seem to find my deck like at all, which is weird. I mean, oh, there it is. Okay, first need to find the extra deck. I'm missing a few cards in here. 6 cards from the main. And my extra deck, where apart from one Caesar, I have literally no idea where it went. Am I stupid right now? I know the answer is yes, but humor me for a bit. Oh, there. Okay. Let's talk about my list. This is something else, so ignore that for a bit. And this as well, but I need... Oh, it's here. Again, I decided, like, still sick? It sounds absolutely. And I have to work with my voice, because I am a... If you want it, like, I'm a teacher. I'm a, like, IT teacher, like seminar guy, instructor, who is working with his voice a lot. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. Extra deck is there. I'm missing a few cards. I have to adjust that in a bit. Let's quickly go over cards here, just sort them so I can talk about them in more detail. As you can see, I played DDD. What am I missing in here? Ah, I know what I'm missing. I 100% know what I'm missing in the main deck. The side deck was not really important. There are just a few cards that were important, and I'm going to go over them in also a bit. Play bells. Oh, confirms. Okay. Big rip. Hello, Ryuk. Where is... I'm still not sure where some of my cards went, because I cannot have them in any other deck. They are DDD cards, and I'm definitely not playing any DDD cards. Ah, there you go. This is basically a big part of my side deck in here. I have to get those out here because I played Droll and Charmies. And I'm just going to leave them in this sleeve because this is a different deck that I'm wanting to keep together for now, and I have to and disassemble this anyways later, but we definitely need those cards to make a easier deck profile. And once I've figured out everything, I will go over this. Let's check starters. This. Extenders. This. And this, and this, and this as necessary. This is also a starter. This is also a necessary card. And then non-engine. So this is the deck. And for the side I played this. Pretty sure it was the second one of those. Oh, it was thrusts, definitely in here. It was definitely 3 Raigeki. So this is no contract traps. Yes. There were contract traps. This, I wasn't playing the witch. That was the only thing that I wasn't playing. But I played this in the side. And I have some reasoning for this. So let me... that's 6, that's 10. Okay, I'm missing 3 thrust. And the lightning storm, and then I got it. This is in here as well. Thrust. Again, I'm just turning off music in just a second so we can talk about this and then talk about my feature match and some of my matchups that I had. Okay. So this goes to the side. I'm looking how I want to build mine, and then I'm hoping I don't want to end my set when I want to learn the combo. It's not that difficult. I can go over 3 of the combos if you want to. Not like I'm the authority on DDD, but I think I got a basic grasp on how the deck works. It's not big brain. Like, I think it was big brain before, where you had to like move around your extenders and shit, but you don't have to do that anymore. Also, I have to fix my camera. This is fucking me off right now. So I need more space here and less space here, so I can sit more relaxed here and don't have to move over every time. God damn it, this is... Okay, got it. That looks way better. Okay, music off for just a bit, and maybe I will turn this into content, I don't know yet. I think I will just cut this out of stream and turn this into like its standalone video. Going over my regional experience. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, hello, I am doing this on stream, so if you want to like check out the stream, you can do that. Link is in the description. It's twitch.tv/Ekorion, or you can literally just follow here because I also stream here on YouTube. I want to go over what happened on the weekend. I went to a regional, which was my first regional, and I didn't expect to do super well. And I didn't. So why am I talking about this? This is for me as like going over what happened to be a better player. And maybe you can take something out of it here, because I didn't top. I didn't like finish in the upper echelon of players. I was 58th place out of 120 players with a record of 3 and 4. This is not great, and if you are a competitive player, you are aiming for better. On the flip side, I think getting more than just one win was more than I was hoping for, because it was my first big event. And as you can tell, I was playing DDD. A few cards are unsleeved right now, a few cards have different sleeves because I have already begun rebuilding decks and also like building other decks, and that's why stuff is not perfectly sleeved up, because it is a few days after the regional and not just right after this. Also, there is one playset of cards that is proxies, and I will go over those in just a bit because I only have one card. Top 50 is not bad for that was like what was my my goal. Like I got it like in chat, you can see it down there. One of the comments was top 50 is not bad, which was exactly what I was aiming for. Like get top 50. Fun fact, I got a better placement than Dinkavui at the event, which was the Magdeburg regional. And I went there and I was on double duty. I was there for firstly playing myself, playing the DDD deck. And secondly, I was in charge for setting up and running the stream, which I was doing on the side as well. So I was kind of stressed, which is also a reason I lost a match. So let me get into that. Before we get into my matches, round 1, round 2 is, I think, not much to say about this, but we can do this. Round 3 we are going to watch, because I went on feature match because I wanted to go on feature match, so I got this. I wanted to go on feature match round 1, which didn't happen. Luckily I didn't, and I'm going to go over why. Let's check out my deck first. We have triple Doom Queen. The Doom Queen is an amazing card. If you read this first and you don't know DDD and don't know the other cards, this doesn't seem like it's crazy. It's good on just first look. Knowing how to play DDD, knowing how the other cards work, this is a really, really good card. It's not just a good card, it's a great card. And opening it is one of the things you want to do. One of the reasons you want to open it is because you don't need your normal summon for it to go into a combo. So you can normal summon later, or if you get stopped on any point, you can normal summon something like an extender that you usually special summon, but then you burn the effect and you don't have it anymore. If you have something else in hand, like, it's really, really good. And I'm not going to deep dive into the effects, what it does and what it doesn't do. What you need to know is this is something that you don't like special summon from your hand to any place. You are going to put this in the scale, and once you scale it, you get a dark contract from your deck. Already activated. It's not searching, it's not like setting, so you don't activate it. You just get it in your spell and trap zone, and then you can use the effect of your dark contract. There are some very cool lines you can do with that, and I'm going to show you like one of the lines later. Probably you have seen one of the lines. by any other guys that do content. I'm like recommending Different Dimension Dreamer, who did a very, very good job at explaining the lines, the deck lists. 100% vouching for this. Puck had a video up on DDD, which was okay in my opinion. You can tell he wasn't like deep into the deck, but he like had his thoughts, and I think it was okay. It was like a fine entry point. You want to open this as often as you can, which is also a reason you might consider a card called Dark Spirit Mastery, which I don't own. And if I wouldn't have had to set up the stream, I probably would have bought an entire case of Legendary Duelist Season 3 just to get this common card. I was considering that, and I didn't have the time for it, so I didn't play it in my deck. Just to get the rundown, Dark Spirit Mastery is a card, it's a spell card that allows you to add a level 8 Fiend. Guess what this is? It's a level 8 Fiend, so yeah. Also, it can double as a searcher for a breaker if you play Lava Golem in your side deck, which is kind of funny in my opinion. So you can like search Lava Golem or you can search Doom Queen. Most of the time, if you don't have it already, you want to search the Doom Queen because you get into a lot of your effects. Again, I'm not going over what she does in specifics. I can show a line, but there are better videos suited for this kind of explanation. For more starters, I was playing 3 Kepler to search a Dark Contract. Main contract you're searching with Kepler. Also, 1-card starter is Dark Contract with a Gate. Nothing too crazy about this. Also, those ratios are incredibly standard. Those search each other. If you want it like this can search this, which doesn't make sense most of the time because with this searching Queen is most of the time better. Or you already have Queen and you maybe even have Kepler in hand. You can search literally anything else, extenders, or even something like a Copernicus if you really want to get into your combos. But this is maybe not the correct choice if you are scared of like hand traps to stop your Copernicus to dump something into the graveyard, because that is very important. 2 more starters that I'm playing are 1-for-1 to basically get Kepler, and a Nightmare Throne to also get Kepler. Those are 11 starters. I really wanted to play at least 13 or 40 if you have Dark Spirit Mastery. I couldn't, so I had to make do with what I had. And going 3 and 4 with this kind of deck and those ratios is kind of fine in my opinion. So if you can stack up on more starters, because that broke my back a few times, I highly recommend it. Then, I'm bonking the microphone. Then for extenders, that is the Scale Surveyor. Scale Surveyor is a free special summon from hand if you control a DDD Pendulum monster card. That includes Scales. If you have Doom Queen in your Scale, you can special summon this from hand and can make it a level 4 if you need, which is helpful into your lines to go into one of the extra deck monsters in the new ones, the Wise King Solomon. So this is helpful. The effect to make it a 4 is very helpful. It is not a starter on its own because you need something else to go into either Solomon or your Gilgamesh. On its own, it does nothing. So I really was contemplating cutting it down to 1, and I would have 100% done that if I had the Dark Spirit Mastery. And since I didn't have that, I also played 2 more extenders in DD Griffin, which is not as restrictive in its special summon like the Scale Surveyor, because the Scale Surveyor needs a DD Pendulum monster card. This just needs a DD. Like any DD will do, and you can special summon from hand. It's already a level 4. It has more effects if you special summon it. So if you pendulum summon it, you can discard a card and or discard a DDD or Dark Contract, DD or Dark Contract, and draw a card, which helped me in my feature match. I'm going to show you that. And if you like special summon from grave, because you can get it in grave, it's a pendulum, I know, but you can get it in grave if you have it like stuck under an Xyz as a material. You can get it out from the grave through various extra deck monsters or even like main deck monsters. And then you can basically add a DD card or dark, any DD card from deck to hand. It's not a dark contract. I had a DD Headhunt in mind, which I didn't play, but you could add that, which is also a good interruption if you want to play that. I try to minimize the amount of cards that do not do anything on their own. So that's why I had like a limited extender package, which you can also search. So definitely would cut 1 and 1 in case or instead of 1 or 2 Dark Spirit Mastery. If I had to cut 1, it would be the Griffin, because the Scale Surveyor are kind of like even more, even though like the Griffin does a lot, but I had a lot of times that I had the Griffin and the goddamn Griffin was the only thing that I had in hand. So it didn't do anything. Also, if you open this and, I don't know, the Zero Doom Queen, and the Zero Doom Queen gets stopped, you can get this out at least, which you couldn't do with the Griffin, so you at least have a body maybe for, I don't know, Typhon or anything. It's just something that might come up. So that's the reason that I would go for one Scale Surveyor more than rather more one of the Griffin. Also, I'm not playing the DD traps or the Dark Contract traps in my main deck, so Griffin is not first choice for me. And now for other cards you want to play, basically engine requirements that can do stuff are a Count Surveyor, which is cuttable. Definitely needed. Dark Contract with the Zero King. This is the contract that you get out of the Doom Queen Mechanics, like 70-90% of the time. Unless you already have it in hand, then you definitely get a different one. But this is basically e-teleport, because you don't have to like tribute a monster or anything. You just get rid of the scale and get the Zero Doom Queen to the place that she wants to be, face up on the extra deck. So this is like very good synergy. You really want to do that. I have a scale. This is to set up of my my Gilgamesh. Like, it's 90% of the time that I'm going for King Ragnarok in my scale of the Gilgamesh. And yeah, the other scale is in my case not the Orthros, which is often run. I decided to cut it because I don't like opening it. It doesn't do a lot or much at all. And in this case, my second scale is most often Griffin or even another Queen. So with those, you get like scales 1 and 5 or 5 and 0 even. In this case, Zero Doom Queen is better because if you have like a Kepler on your face-up extra deck, you can get another body out from your Pendulum Summon multiples. Then I have a Copernicus. Copernicus is key for a lot of combos because Copernicus itself is not combo itself necessarily. It can do a lot of combos itself, but it's not going for the full board in my opinion because it's very interactable. I'm sure if you are a very good DDD player, which I am not, I'm again prefacing this. This is not something that I say I am an authority on. I know that I have a lot of flaws. We can see during the feature match that I was on that I played like an idiot sometimes. And again, this is just what I played and the reasoning that I had behind that, okay? So if you're watching this, cut me some slack. I am open to criticism, like if it's productive, I'm open for it. And I'm probably tinkering around with DDD in the future a bit. Right now, I'm going to put the deck to the side for now because I had my experiences with it and it was like okay-ish, but I want to play other decks now. And Copernicus has mostly 2 targets, and you are going to need both targets in the grave over your combos, which is like your objectives of the game for basically your early game, which are DD Land Soldier and DD Necroslime. Land Soldier and Necroslime are the only thing that you need in the grave. Yes, you could run a Defense Soldier. I am not running this. Again, I was cutting down the cards that I don't want to open. So, opening this, especially opening Necroslime, is kind of hard to get rid of. There are a lot of ways to do that. It just makes your lines a lot harder and even more like prone to interaction. So this happened to me like I think 3 times that I had the Necroslime in hand and I couldn't get rid of it for a while. Like yes, I could play on and I could get it into grave like I think 3 out of 4 times when I had it. And then it was like fine, but my lines were like really, really weird. And if they had more interruptions, I probably would have folded. The rest that I'm playing is non-engine. In this case, it's 3 impulse. Those are my proxies because I gave them back. I didn't own them for the tournament, borrowed them, so I'm using my proxies. I got 1 impulse now because I opened one from some packs that I got at the venue. 1 cross out. This we'll discuss later. Then Imperm, which was really not good. Wish I would have played something else. Probably Crow. I didn't like Imperm. Cited it out a lot of times. And this I will explain just a bit. Then Bell, kinda liked. It hit Mitsurugi a lot. And I played a lot in Mitsurugi, so this was fine. Maybe even would have played 3. Like, good ratios in my opinion, 2 Crow, 3 Bell. Would have, like, preferred. And the last standalone card is Fuvalos, which lost me a game apparently, because I opened 3 of those goddamn idiots in my first game. And yeah, 3 Fuvalos and a Droll and an Ash is definitely not good against White Forest if they can't stop the Fuvalos. And I was holding back a few cards, which are those here, because those I tagged specifically to stop Fuvalos. Fuvalos is an issue for DDD. Like, even in a more low-to-the-ground version that I'm playing with less engine cards, like Orthros, like Defense Soldier, like more Extenders, in more Scale Surveyor and more Griffin, and you know, you can play like a lot more. I was playing a bit more low to the ground. And to stop the Fuvalos, because that is really, really... Oh my god, we have a bot. Nice. I'm going to... I can't ban them here. I can ban them here. Ban. Cool. Yep. This happens if you're live on stream. And to stop Fuvalos, I played 3 Ash. Like, it had no real other purpose, especially not going first. And 3 Droll. And I'm apparently missing a Called by the Grave. And I had a Crossout Designator because I was also playing Fuvalos. So I had like a lot of cards against their 3 Fuvalos. They have 3 Fuvalos in their deck. I have especially... I had like, yeah, 7 to 8 cards in my deck to stop the Fuvalos. And you know what? I got Fuvad so many times with no ways to stop it. It was like crazy. I don't know what happened. This is just like coincidence. Yeah, this happens. Like, it's a numbers game. And if you play in a tournament, there are going to be games where you just don't open the counter to whatever counters you. This is not always going to happen. Yes, I ashed a Fuvalos. But in 7 rounds, this happened once. So, yeah. I don't know what went wrong because I 100% played a Cult by the Grave, but this is basically the list. You can adjust it. And this is the main. Then I have the extra deck. The extra deck was, in my opinion, is pretty solved right now for this current format. And I don't know if you can like really adjust much. There are 2 flex spots in the extra deck. So what we have is 1 Siegfried and 1 First King Clovis. Nothing to add here. This is key. Like, this is more extension. This is your spell trap negate. And if you side in cards, you can also stop like Dark Ruler no more. Fun fact, I don't care about getting Dark Ruler no more, which is a reason I didn't play something like Dark Contract with the Witch in the main deck, which is a tech you can get from like one of your searchers. Can get like the Dark Contract with the Witch, get it on field, set it down, and once your opponent flips Dark Ruler no more, or even Forbidden Droplet not sending a trap, you can activate your trap, Dark Contract with the Witch, and then you can react with Siegfried negating the on-field Dark Ruler no more or Forbidden Droplet. Never happened. A, because I didn't play the Witch, and B, I never got Dark Rulered. If I would have gotten Dark Rulered, I wouldn't have cared, because that means I'm not getting killed this turn. And if I'm not getting killed this turn, there are 2 cards, or there's 1 card in my extra deck that is going to capitalize off it. First, another fusion. This is a Genghis. Yes, Genghis. It's like probably the face of DDD in my opinion. Like, if you get this guy out, like out of your Necro Slime, banishing it from grave with another DD card, you get Genghis, special summon another DD on field, and you get a Reborn from grave. Cool. Extension. And the other fusion is the reason that I never cared about getting Dark Rulered. DDD Dimension King Arc Crisis. This guy is a menace. And I didn't resolve it for a while. I got it then. I got it and I won games because my opponent didn't read cards. So that was something. Arc Crisis is crazy. Arc Crisis negates all monsters on field and can attack all opponent's monsters once. That means if you can make the Arc Crisis, which can be done by a contact fusion of banishing Clovis, which gives your, like, I think it's piercing. Yep, this is inflicts piercing battle damage on defense position monsters. And there is another card, that's another new card, which is the Wise King Solomon, which burns your opponent by the attack of the monster that you're destroying by battle. So if they have like a huge Mitsurugi board with a lot of boys on there, they are all getting negated, and you're killing your opponent 100% of the time. It's just so funny. I'm going for the links now, because the biggest package is the Xyz. I'm playing 1, to Gilgamesh to get my scales, also to redo it if I go into another turn and I don't have my scales anymore, which can happen. I don't think it happened to me, but it could happen. And also a Sky King Zeus Ragnarok, which is just so funny that Konami knows DDD had a problem with Nibiru. And they said, you know what they need? Nibiru protection. We're going to give it to them. And so they made one of the craziest cards I've ever read. Zeus Ragnarok is so funny because you make it, and the line to that is already probably very Nibiru proof. And if they Nibiru you, there is no good point to get Nibiru'd. And then you make this guy, and then you're hand trap immune. Or at least, like, they need an imperm and then Nibiru. So, like, Nibiru, chain this, get impermed on this guy. So this is the only way that Nibiru resolves in a meaningful way, in my opinion. Also, you probably can extend further then, because you got a lot of advantage from your Xyz before. This just says if your opponent activates a monster effect in hand, you can banish a DD monster and a Dark Contract from grave, and then you can negate the activation. Cool. Also, if you destroy, I think it's a DD card on the field. DD or Dark Contract. I wasn't sure if it's like triple D or just double D, which means everything, and it's just double D or halt or a like a little switcheroo to German there. That just is crazy. You can destroy one of those and you get another pendulum summon on your turn. You just gain the ability to do that. It's why? Why are you allowed to pendulum summon twice? Apparently you do. And now for the Xyz, I played like the rank 4s, which is Solomon. Most of the time you're going to this first. I had a small Caesar. This is, in my opinion, optional. I liked it. And like going first, searching for the Dark Contract with the Darkness, which I have in my side deck, this helped me. But if you have to choose to make a rank 4, and if you don't have anything else, you always go for the Solomon, because it's like better for your game plan. This can help you out in a pinch, but I like this one more. Then the guy you slap on top of Caesar or Wise King, and that is Tell. You could argue to make a second one, like to get rid of the little King Caesar and play a second Tell. For me, it never really came up. I can't see a reason to play that. So, in my opinion, those 2 points are the only thing that you could argue about in this extra deck. The Fiendsmith guy. Wave Hiking Caesar just double negate special summons from your opponent. It's kind of cool. It's kind of sick that you can play this. Is this, like, I think it's ethically in this deck, and you basically can go into that like every time, because your new Synchro, your Clovis and Gilgamesh, not Gilgamesh, Genghis are level 6s, so you always overlay them, and you have your Caesar. And if they out that, all 3 go into the grave, and you have already 3 materials set up for your Arc Crisis. And the 4th one is probably not an issue, because you need as a 4th piece for Arc Crisis, you need any pendulum monster, any DD pendulum monster, so anything does. Or is it a DDD? I'm not sure. Like this, I think it came up. It is No, it's just a fiend. It has to be a pendulum fiend. Yeah, so choose your fighter. And the last two DDDs in my extra deck were two Deviser King Deus Machinax. I love this guy. I got to snatch just once, and I lost my headphones right now. And most of the time he got super polyed away. So unfortunately I couldn't resolve him like that often, and I don't know if I need to play two. And those were the last two cards in my extra deck. A SP and a Typhon. Never went into those. So if there are better DDDs, just slot them in. Like, you don't need those. Like, I think having the option to go into a Typhon is cool. And I think is worth a spot. But definitely not, like, a must include in the extra deck. Like, those two are flex spots that you can just pick and choose whatever you like. This was my main and extra deck. I have like a side deck which is, again, not crazy and not super fond of it. Like, I think it could use some work. It did its job, but there were a few cards that I never sided in. So, cards that I very often sided in were Thrust. Thrust is kind of nice. And most often I sided in 2 Deep Barrier. Because floodgates are fun, right? It helped a lot against a few strategies. I played or got 2 Deep Barriers activated in one game against Mitsurugi, calling Ritual twice. Unfortunately, I had no spare zones, so I had to set one in my pendulum zone, and had issues getting rid of it. So I had to use it on my turn because I needed my pendulum zone. So I called Ritual on my own turn, which meant he couldn't like play on, which was cool. Won me the game then, but would have liked to get like a practical use for it. Some other thrust targets were lightning storms. I played 2 because I don't own a third one and I couldn't get another one on my hands. And then 3 Raigeki and a Feather Duster. This was a bigger thrust package because I liked opening Raigeki. Unfortunately, only happened once. So, yeah. Another target you could possibly thrust for was Evenly. And I only drew it once and couldn't resolve it because I was winning this game anyways. And the last one is the Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness, which is a blowout against Yami, and I used it against Yami at least once. Tried it twice, but then they could pop it. So, this was my deck. I'm going to take a very short break, and then we are going to go into the game that I played, and so I can give you like the rundown on my games. So just see you in a second. I'm turning back music, and we will see each other in like 5 minutes maybe. See you. Okay. I'm back. Let's go away from my deck. And to my feature match. I need the scene once again. Again, I can get rid of my deck right now. This was the list that I played. Is it perfect? Absolutely fucking not. Didn't want to swear, but it was not perfect. I had a lot of issues with it. And before I go into my feature match, I can like get this up right now. Give me a second. I need blue and white wolves. And what the fuck is going on? Oh, there. And where is my game? I think it was this. It restart. Yeah, there I am. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Found me. And we can go over this. I had round 1. I can open it. It's spoiling a bit, but not too much, I think. There. Let's like make it big. I went in the first 2 rounds. Also, I definitely need to fix my camera here as well. Because that is absolutely horrendous. Seems about right, I guess. Okay. So, my first 2 rounds were atrocious. Round 1, I already alluded to it. I opened triple Fuvalos, Ash, and Draw against White Forest Azamina toy box stuff. I am not playing through this. I am not playing anywhere. They stopped my my Fuvalos with an Ash. They stopped the... No, they didn't stop the Fuvalos with an Ash. They stopped Fuvalos with Called By after I used my second. And somehow I drawed them too late, so they had something to stop. I don't know. I wasn't in the headspace to like get into the game really, because I was super stressed from setting up the stream, and just hurried to my spot. And once I got there, I was the last person to arrive at my seat. The TO came back to me and said there was an issue with the stream, so I had to get back to the stream, got like a 2-minute extension, and I wasn't like already there. So game 1 wasn't like winnable. Game 2, I opened a playable hand. The issue was, at this time, I had a proxy for my Count Surveyor in the deck. So I scooped game 2 because I had like not the real card in my deck, I had the proxy in my deck. That was fun. So I immediately lost match 1. And match 2 was against... Oh, it was against Gem Knight. Right. I won the die roll there. And in my opinion, I built a okay-ish board through Fuvalos. But through Fuvalos, an okay-ish board, which means I had, I think I had the Doom Queen in extra deck set up. I had, what did I have? It wasn't like much. I think I had like, I think it was Siegfried Negate. I don't know. I think it was Siegfried and the face up they face a Doom Queen. They just played through this. This was like no-brainer for them. Game 2 was a lot easier. I went first again because I knew I could set up a board that couldn't be broken. Sighted in D barriers, did that, won the game. Was quite easy, in my opinion, because they expected me to send them first, and I didn't. And I sent them second. So they sided for going first. And that didn't help them. And game 3, I could set up through Fuvalos again. Like, I had to set up through Fuvalos again. But I had, like, better cards to stop them. I think I had the contract. So they couldn't use the Eternal Darkness. So they couldn't, like, use material from field. Which was stopping them a lot. So they brought me down to 2100, and I had 2 face-up contracts on the field because they popped my Eternal Darkness. I had still my Zero King, and I still had my contract with the gate on the field. So that means they pass turn, and in standby phase, I'm getting 2000 burn. So I'm on 100 life points. And I'm like, oh, I have to make sure to not use the Gilgamesh effect to place my scales, because that burns me for 1000. And I play on, can play through a lot of his stuff, and just want to get another body so I can go into a synchro, and once I have a synchro, I can make Arc Crisis and win the game. Got super excited, 5 minutes left on clock, and I think I got it. And I make the mistake that I had the scale, the Oblivion King Ragnarok, and used its scale effect, which says I can basically, once I special summon, I can revive, but my battle damage is halved, and I take 1000 damage. And I activated this effect. And I was like, oh my god, did I just really do this? Because I basically won. I think I could have played the line differently, so I wouldn't have needed that reborn. But I activated the effect and I couldn't take it back. And it's not like this is an effect where you have to have the life points to pay it. I activated the effect, and then the life points, like losing the life points, is part of the effect. So it happens if you activate the effect. I burned myself to death. It was super unfortunate. So I was like 0-2, but I was promised the feature match anyways. And my opponent, who was like very surprised that both of us 0-2s are going into the feature match. So let's watch it. Can I watch like a bit faster? Yeah, I can watch like 1.5 time speed. I think this is reasonable. As you can see, they played Mitsurugi, which was my first Mitsurugi at the day. And I went first with the normal summon of my Kepler. I had to explain a lot of it to him. Also, like, the time is just starting in just a bit. Timer was like not reset. Will happen in just a bit. And explained that I'm going to search a Dark Contract and activate the Dark Contract to search a monster. Like, this is very standard to get my Doom Queen, and then set up my Doom Queen to get my activation of Zero King from the deck. Like, this is basically what you're going to try to do every single game. Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have like your normal summon anymore because I have to use it on Kepler, but Kepler is one of the dedicated normal summons in the deck, so it's like fine. Like, the only one that you basically also would like to do would be Copernicus. But then you just get the contract, activate the contract, and pop the Doom Queen with it, which I'm going to do. I had to explain again a lot to him so you can see that that I like talking a lot. And on the activation of my Zero King, I got double Fuvad. So I knew this is going to be a tough one because I can't give them a lot of draws, no matter what deck they are playing. And especially now knowing that they played Mitsurugi, this was a big no-no to not give them a lot of draws. What I thought about doing was special summon the Necroslime. So I can set up a Necroslime engrave and play on my next turn. Try to survive, get like a special summon from hand, get another body that could maybe save me, set 2 cards and pass. Yes, I clocked a scale with it. Both of those cards were imperms. I misplay with a imperm in just a bit. You will see what I mean. Again, bit nervous. Not really much. Expected to be more nervous on feature, but I wasn't like crazy nervous. In draw phase, they activate prayers. Sentefutsu, that's already told me this is 100% pure Mitsurugi. So I knew this is going to be tough, but I don't think it was impossible for me to win because I prepared for this matchup. And they tributed, so they got like the Aramasa, and especially the Aramasa. Which means they are taking the 800 points of damage and they are searching a Mitsurugi monster. I could have impermed here. I thought about holding the imperm for the bigger ones. And I think they got Murakumo, which is kind of scary. Then in main phase, because they haven't been to main phase yet, they activate Pot of Extravagance. This is, I think I'm holding a draw, which at this point is not even like necessarily great. It stops a lot of effects, but it's like, oh no, I'm not holding a draw. Not this game. They activate the ritual from hand, getting the Murakumo, and sending to grave, I think it is Saji and Snake. Or Kusanagi. No, it's Snake and Kusanagi from hand. That is chain link 1 Kusanagi to get ritual back, and then Murakumo. And I somehow forgot to activate Imperm on the effect because I had a discard in hand, which would, I think, in my case, even benefit me. So I could stop the board wipe and have like bodies on field, so I could survive a turn and play because my Necroslime is in grave. Now we have some issues with the stream because the venue was like pretty packed and internet was like bit rare at some occasions. We toned down stream quality, bitrate, anything. It worked. Stream looked really good for what it was like that I set up. And right now they could do a lot of uninterrupted Mitsu combo. Like they got another ritual with, I think it was another Murakumo from deck in this case. And they make it to Garrus, discard like detaching 2, which I imperm because I then remembered I had 2 imperms set, not just 1. I didn't know what to hold it for, like because what the fuck am I supposed to do? So they attack, and even if I'm not getting 8,000 damage, my contracts are killing me. So this was basically lost the moment I gave up my monsters. I don't know why I didn't chain my imperm. So you can see me definitely siding the D barriers and the thrusts in. And I think it was, what else am I siding in? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the 6th card that I'm siding in here? I couldn't see it because I definitely played 2 D barrier. Definitely 2 big D barrier. Not sure. Thrust and D barrier for sure. That was 100%. I think my imperms were going out and my two of my Fuvalos were going out because I needed one in deck for the Crossart Designator to, again, not get Fuva-lost, which was priority number one. It happened with double Fuva, so I, in this situation, had no real play. Yes, it was the Dark Contract. Correct. It was the Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness. So I got this one in, and I think I was pretty sure. I did a mistake by reading this card. I thought it was like stopping Mitsurugi as well. It's just stopping tribute summoning. Like, it's not stopping tributing. It's stopping tribute summoning, which a ritual summon is not. So it could hinder them, but not that much. So again, there was a reason I cited it in, because I was aware of Super Poly in a lot of Mitsurugi decks. That was my thinking at the moment. And going first, like, I could try to set up. I got like my Nightmare Throne to get my Kepler normal summon. I think this game is pretty straightforward. This gets me my Dark Contract with the Gate. Oh, no, I had it in hand, and I got a Dark Contract with Eternal Darkness. This was basically my counter for the Super Poly. And I had the TO. You could see it like in just a second. Just a split second, you could see it there. The TO was sitting at the stream setup, and he is a huge DDD player. And like, I'm like very good with him. He is a really cool guy, and much love to him. He did like a really good job running the event. Like, super great guy. Like, if you're seeing this, Kaito, it was super cool. Like, for my first regional, I really enjoyed it. And even though it was like really stressful to set up the stream and everything, it was like a great experience, and I'm looking forward to another regional in Magdeburg. So you could see I got the Dark Contract, and I got like the, you could see it. You could see like the slight nod from me over there, because he was like doing the to me when he saw that I was like searching this contract. And that was kind of funny in my opinion. It was like just like the nod of approval that I'm playing this card, and like seeing that there is a reason to play it. He scolded me after the game because it was like really stressful for him to watch, because he was like a way better DD player than I am. And he said like it was horrible to watch me. Yeah, I'm doing the same song and dance that I did game 1, but now I don't get Fuva-lost. I asked him twice, nothing here? Nothing here? He said, no, unfortunately not. And this time I got my Copernicus out, because no Fuva means I can extend way further now. Only thing I might fear is Nibiru, but I'm not fearing Nibiru. So I could not send the Necroslime, but send the Land Soldier instead. Land Soldier pops my Dark Contract with the Gate, and special summon itself out, and then I can adjust its level by like 2, because I have a Dark Contract on field, 1 in grave. It counts the numbers of Dark Contracts in field and grave, and can like level modulate itself for that amount. Like, I can choose the amount. I could just go to a level 3 if I want, but no use, because I want to go to a level 4 and make Wise King Solomon. Wise King Solomon gets me a Griffin for further extension, and that is the last point you can Nibiru this deck. Absolutely last point. I don't think you can, because it was 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't Nibiru, because now I'm getting to overlay my Kingtail, and Kingtail means if you Nibiru now, I'm getting my Necroslime in grave anyways. And if my Necroslime is in grave, I can extend past that. So that was quite cool. I linked off both Kepler and my Kingtail for Gilgamesh to set scales. That was like the play right now. And the Kingtail was, I think, Chainlink 2, which in my opinion shouldn't be correct. I think I should have changed it differently, but I didn't, and it was like fine in this situation. I think he didn't expect to like to interrupt me here. got King Ragnarok and my 0 scale in Doom Queen Machinex, and sent to grave my Necroslime. Oh no. Didn't send to grave my Necroslime because I had my Necroslime in hand. And I made a huge mistake before. Now I remember it was like this game. Because when I got my search of the Wise King Solomon, I already knew I had my Necroslime in hand. There was a really easy fix. Search Count Surveyor, the one that I sent to grave in this situation here. Count Surveyor can special summon itself by discarding a DD card in hand. I had my Necroslime in grave, and I could like happily extend into like until the end of the universe. I didn't. I searched Griffin because I tunneled on my line, which isn't intact if I have my Necroslime in hand. So, hindsight, yeah, absolutely. So I was scrambling because I had a normal summon. That was like my other way out to normal summon the Necroslime and link it off to get it in grave. And I couldn't. So I was thinking, what am I supposed to do? I could have pendulum summoned it out. Didn't realize at the moment. Just realizing now. Just goddamn pendulum summon the Necroslime out. But I found a way more convoluted line to do exactly what I wanted to do. To set up a probably suboptimal board in the end. We will see. I'm now going to special summon the Griffin because I have like a DD card on field. And because I special summon the DD, I activate the King Ragnarok to bring back the Count Surveyor. And this is the moment I realize the effect to discard from hand is not the effect that it has on field. You can see my reaction right now. I was like so out of it in this moment because of my non-existent line that I didn't know what I was doing. I had like my lines prepared, and even like I had lines prepared for Necroslime in hand, and I blanked. I just focused on different lines that weren't possible with the setup that I had. So what I did was like to go into Sky Zeus if they had like any kind of interaction to just kind of insulate me from that. Which I don't think was necessary, but fine. Also against Mitsurugi, it's kind of good to stop the Habakiri effect, which it can. It's a monster effect in hand. And I had like a DD and a Dark Contract in grave, so the negate was live. And I was very certain that I kind of have no real... Kaito on the left is getting his head in the... Absolutely. Like, he was not letting it on. So I was also not looking like... he was on the right from me. Yeah, I wasn't like mirrored. It was like on the right for me. But he was like super... He told me afterwards he was like ultra stressed. He didn't know how to react. And I was checking Sky Zeus if I can like discard a card from hand to activate the effect of Pendulum Summon again. And then I had an idea. I linked off my Griffin to get it on top of the extra deck. And then pop another Dark Contract that I had in hand. So I can get the another Pendulum Summon. And with the other Pendulum Summon, I can Pendulum Summon Griffin out, which can discard a DD card, draw a card. And there we go. I discarded the Necroslime, drew another draw. I think I had another draw in hand. And then I said, now we can combo. And you can see his reaction. He was like, now you can combo? Brother, you were comboing off for 10 minutes. What the fuck is going on right now? It was kind of funny. I then made another... I love the idea. It wasn't just to Pendulum Summon. I know! Why didn't I Pendulum Summon the Necro? I just realized I can. I have a 0 scale. I can Pendulum Summon that motherfucker. I had such a convoluted line. It worked out in the end. Like, I can tell you, it worked out in the end here. So I made Genghis, made the Clovis, then some suboptimal activation of the Clovis, because Clovis gets me back the Solomon, because I thought maybe I can make a second Deus Machinex, which I can't. So I just got it out so as another body and made like my Wave High King Caesar. That was my end board. You could special summon in the Machinex in the zone from the Zeus, right? You could special summon the Machinex in the zone from the Zeus, right? I mean, I'm so sorry. The Pendulum 8? You mean the Queen Machinex? Yeah, I had one. I had like one zone left. Like it has, you don't want to, I have to, it has to go there. It has to go to a Pendulum or extra monster zone. So from the extra deck. So I had one zone left for the Queen Machinex. The thing is, okay, what did you write that you got like restricted there? Yeah, okay, I'm not allowing this. Okay, we have to like just rewind just a tad bit. Okay. He was reading the contract, the Eternal Darkness contract, because you have to make sure what you're up against. And I completely get it if you have never played it. It has to be in the extra deck, doesn't it? Yes. I couldn't get my Queen Machinex popped, so I can't trigger it. Which is kind of detrimental. Yep. In draw phase, they activated the prayers. So no draw. Had to make sure I'm not like revealing it. And they also tributed the Aramasa, so they got both triggers, one for the Saji and one for the Aramasa. Saji effect. Couldn't stop that. Like I could have used Deus Machinex right now. And this is the moment. Like this is the exact moment that I had like a window to activate something, was to just flip up my goddamn trap. Why didn't I do this? Why did I hold it? Like it was knowledge to him that I have it. Why did I wait for it? I don't know. And you can see it's going to bite me. They search Habakiri and they search a ritual. And down comes Super Poly. I have I have 3 darks and a water on grave. And I was getting like frustrated because that felt unfair to me. I had been through some weird shit in my previous games, in my opinion. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing serious. But he was like considering what do I want to get rid of, and told him to get rid of the Solomon. He's crazy, but he didn't listen, unfortunately. And now I realize, yeah, why didn't I flip the card? Why didn't I flip it? He could have changed it, yes, but that would have like forced him out of it, and I'm maybe had like something I could do. Yeah. Stop the ritual with my Wave High King Caesar. Had a second one, stop it again with my Wave High King Caesar. Also, like, stream is like getting a bit choppy here. Again, like fluctuating internet. And then I think, what did he do? There's Kaito. He's reading if the attack gain is optional or not. In my opinion, was like not really important. Should have like just activated the effect and to pump the Solomon itself, because like what's the negative of doing that? And well, yeah. They crashed the the Garura to draw another card. Also, like, they drew another card. Why didn't I why did I draw? I have so many questions about my choices in this duel. They Habakiri for the Kusanagi to get back, I think, a ritual for next turn because they used both effects this turn, hoping they would get another turn, which I can tell you I am trying to not give them. They had another prayers and they set 1 prayers, and I think they set the ritual and pass back to me. I draw another card. I don't even know what it is. Like, take my 2000 points of damage during the standby phase, and then I check my grave to see if I have the materials for Arc Crisis. Extend further with my Scale Surveyor, and I can check what do I have, what can I go for. Can't really go into Gilgamesh because I have both scales locked right now. The Doom Queen also can't do a lot. Could get like my Lance Soldier back out through the effect of the King Ragnarok, and they just scoop it up because I could accrue a lot of advantage, and I still had like Arc Crisis, and even though my battle damage would be halved, I would have had like a lot more than enough damage to kill them, like 100%. Now siding back in my Fuvalos, and I also side my evenly matched in, just because I think banishing face down is something they really don't want to experience. So that was like my way of thinking, to get 3 Fuvalos back in 3 evenly matched, and it was also something else that I didn't catch necessarily for the all-important game 3, exactly. And I sided out the contract because I noticed it's not that crazy in that matchup as I expected. And I sided out my D barriers because going second, it's not crazy. Sided out another Griffin and I think a second Scale Surveyor just to get like my side deck cards in. And here some fucked up shit happens. I count, do I have the correct amount of side deck cards for the side deck, and just not have my sorry. Oh, it's 12:30, like past midnight. 0:30 a.m. in the morning. Or I think it's 12:30 p.m. in the morning. I don't know. It's like past midnight. It's half an hour past midnight. I'm really tired right now. But I really wanted to get this down just in case. Is it a.m.? I'm very unsure about this. I think it's 12 a.m. You might be right. They start with prayers again. Like all 3 games, they had prayers turn 1. They tribute Aramasa, get Saji, and pay the 800 to get the Saji out. Saji effect. And this will get them, I think, the ritual. Yep, it's the ritual. I think it's still a weird system. It's like 11 p.m. and then you go to 12 a.m. and then it's 1 a.m. Like, make it make sense. Goddamn, get your times right, English-speaking people. What you noticed, or if you watched the stream right now, is I impulsed the ritual, which is exactly why I have it here. It's exactly the reason that I'm playing it, and playing a deck that can play Impulse is kind of impactful. They had 2 set cards and 1 Saji and a Dream. And I start with a Dark Contract with a Gate, hoping I can go into a combo and just make Arc Crisis to kill them. That was basically the game plan. I go for the Doom Queen. Doom Queen scales, activates, gives me no effect right now because I have no real targets that I want to get. I don't want to clock myself with another Dark Contract with the gate. So I don't activate the scale effect, but I use the Zero King from hand to pop it. Now I go into Scale Surveyor, the Count Surveyor. Count Surveyor is getting me a search for Copernicus because I haven't normaled yet. So Copernicus is absolutely live. I can normal summon it and send to the graveyard. Luckily, didn't get Fuwalost. I mean, couldn't because they had cards on the field. And I sent the Land Soldier. They called by the grave the Land Soldier, and I'm like, now I'm in trouble because that is my only tuner. And if I have no other tuner, how am I going to go into my... what's his face? First King Clovis. Because that is the only card that can recycle from Banish. So if I don't get like a Synchro out, I can't go into Arc Crisis. So I just go into Gilgamesh first, try to set up scales. I have my scales, and then I'm like, oh my god. In that moment it hit me that I have basically no way of getting into Arc Crisis. What I just need to do is get 8,000 points of damage. I Pendulum Summon my Copernicus, and I'm really, really thinking, do I want to Pendulum Summon more? Because I could Pendulum Summon more from hand, and I knew I could extend further, but I didn't know why I didn't go for it more. I go into the Sky Zeus. Like, forgetting to Pendulum Summon from hand is something that didn't happen in any other game on this day, but just on this game, I completely forgot. I popped my Zero King my contract with the gate and triggered the effect of my queen because a Dark Contract was popped to also get like my second Pendulum Summon, so I can special summon her out. And he chains the prayers, and then we just resolve the chain because I activated the effect. Their prayers tributes the Sagi, they get something out because it's chaining 2, and then I can special summon the Doom Queen Machinex, and on the summon I pop something, which is in this case the Kusanagi. They lose another 800, so they are at 6-4, and I know it's going to be less damage than that. And I have a free board. Now I need to assemble. Issue is, he's at 6-4. And Sky King is, I think, 23. And my Doom Queen Machinex is 3000. I had another Pendulum Summon from hand. Which, let's be honest, would work here. I just need another Gilgamesh. What I do instead is I'm going to use the effect of Gilgamesh to reborn Zero King Ragnarok. To use my Machinex to go into that, and he just scoops. Issue is, that halves battle damage. I didn't have game. But he assumed I have. And the funny part is, Kaito specified that I have half battle damage during game 2, where a similar situation occurred. So, I was kind of lucky he scooped. Did I have like 70 more ways to go for lethal in this situation? Yes. Did I see any of them? Absolutely fucking not. I was like just lucky he just scooped. So I was 1 and 2. This was... I don't know what this was. It was stupid. Like, a lot of shit was really, really stupid. Task failed successfully. This is exactly what my brain was like on. But I was happy I won the feature match. So, I went on to face... Oh, who did I face? I was 1-2, so I faced off against I think it was another Mitsurugi. I am going to go back to here and I'm going to check the log that I posted into the Discord because I posted my results. Yeah, it was against Mitsurugi. That was a really weird game. Game 4. I lost the die roll for the first time. Or like for the second time. No, for the first time. I won all 3 die rolls before that, and then I lost my die roll there. And I had impulse for ritual and everything was like kind of good. And unfortunately, I couldn't really overcome their advantage, even though I stopped the ritual, because they could just go further. They have Kusanagi to add it back, to special summon or ritual summon from deck. And like a Mitsu board that is not properly stopped and has ways to extend is basically the same thing as if they play through the normal combo, just with maybe a card more in hand or less in hand, depending on if you stop them or not. Which also means they had enough materials to stop me and also could stop my Zero King contract. And like, I'm not going to recover from that if they have basically everything to stop me. I then going first sided a lot of cards out, but my going first hand looked like Impulse, Crossout, Called by Droll, and Thrust. Which is a really unfortunate hand going first. Yes, a lot of those cards I want to see. Droll for self-drolling myself. Thrust if they have like anything to stop me. I can thrust for literally anything else in the game. I had the cross out, I had the called by. Like I had 3 ways to stop Fuvalos, but I didn't get Fuvalos, and Impulse is also not doing much. So my hand is not doing a lot. Couldn't do anything. And my, like their turn 2 was also not crazy. I could stop them really well because I had a lot of cards that are good against Mitsurugi, like Droll, Called by, Impulse. That is basically full kill against the Mitsurugi deck. But that's not enough because I have to like play the game on my turn then. And since they couldn't establish anything, I couldn't also resolve my thrust, which also means I am dependent on my top deck. And any starter would have been great, but I top decked a Griffin, so I couldn't do anything at all. So I lost. I was 1-3, which meant like I had no chance of going anywhere near the top positions, which was again fine with me because I didn't expect to have like a really good result. And I had like my opponent who was kind of tilted. You just know by him like getting to our seat, like not really introducing himself, not really being talkative, just like sitting there, getting his cards out. And I lost my die roll, and it was another Mitsurugi. And against Mitsurugi, like 3 times in a row, I was like getting, bro, I don't want to play Mitsurugi anymore. Give me other decks. I was like prepared to play against Yami really well. I was hoping to play against one Draco Tail at least. So there was like a lot of ways where I really wanted to get my my experience from testing in, and I couldn't because I was always playing goddamn Mitsurugi, which was everywhere. And I had like a Fuva, and he had in Ash Blossom, so he could set up full Mitsurugi board. Wasn't like doing a lot of that that I should do. So game 1 I lost against like Mitsurugi full board again, and then I could build my full DDD board. He had no interruptions. He could crack it, funnily enough, but the thing is, he was like out of interruptions after that. And that means he just set one and hoped it was enough. I think it was a prayers that he said, which gave him something, but it was like not enough because I forced out the Murakumo really early and then went into the Arc Crisis and just killed them. And I finally resolved an Arc Crisis that won me a game in this scenario, if I remember it correctly. And in game 3, you know he was tilted. He was like really not into getting to know all the DDD cards, what they are doing. Just asked me for a quick rundown and was kind of like pissed about everything, what they do, and was like, they do that, and of course they do that, and like, just read the cards, and if you don't know them and you don't prepare for them, just don't complain about them. Just calm down, brother. It's not my fault you are pissed. It's not my fault you're 1-3. It wasn't like he was not really, really like unfriendly to me, but it was like he had like really, really bad vibe, like aura around him. It was like really like, I think he expected to be better on the day. And I think he was like someone who is like not 1-3, he is more like a 3-1 person. And being 1-3 with a deck like Mitsurugi, think it weighed on him. And then getting paired with someone playing a deck that he wasn't familiar with, he was like very, I think he was like very unhappy with that. So he went first, I got a Fuwa, and my first draw of the Fuwa was another Fuwa. So after I like Fuwa'd their Habakiri, I got another Habakiri. That is exactly what I'm saying, like what Michael is saying in the chat. If you're 1-3, just have fun. I was not in there to win anything. I was in there to just enjoy the experience of being at a regional and playing a game that I like. So that was my mindset, and I think it carried me farther than it did ever for him. And I draw like the Fuwa, and the fun part is I activate the Fuwa on the next special summon effect. I think it was the Ritual. And I drew another 2 cards. And he made me draw another 2 cards. And I think he made me draw another 2 cards. So I drew 7 in total. And it was kind of funny because that meant I had like a really, really stacked hand. Yes, I lost 2 Fuwa, so I had like 10 cards in hand. Going first with another 11th card. It was really, really good. So I had everything. I could do everything. I played through his entire field. I was like kind of iffy on he was like holding his Murakumo for like way, way too long. And I was like kind of scared about like, what are you trying to do? Like, what are you waiting for? Just, he had like his Futsu out, and I didn't know when is he going to activate the Futsu to get like the Murakumo. It was not like he had no zones left. He had 1 zone left, and I knew it was like reserved for the goddamn Murakumo. So the fun part was I got to a point where I had all of my parts assembled for Arc Crisis. And he read Arc Crisis the game before. And I go for, yeah, I'm going to banish 4 for a fusion summon. And then he was like, chain, and I was like, I don't think you can chain, but I was like going to let him because he was like super, like I knew his mood was going down even further below. It was like below the surface of the shop that we were in. He was like really, really like not enjoying himself. And at this point, I was also a bit fried in the head, so I didn't like think about that he can't chain to something like this. I think it is an inherent summon. So it didn't even work like this. He was like chaining 2 Futsu and got out the Murakumo, and I got out my boy, my Arc Crisis, and then resolved the chain basically like, okay, negate all of your cards. Oh no, it was differently. It was, I summoned it, and he then, because I summoned it, made the Futsu effect, which came out, and then I negated the Murakumo. So the Murakumo was off. It was maybe I misremember what it was, but it was is the exactly correct play, I think, in this scenario. And it meant like his Murakumo was coming out when my Arc Crisis was resolving its negation. I think it was like this when I activated the Arc Crisis effect on field to negate all monsters on the field. I think it was like this. I'm, again, not 100% sure. It was a long day for me. But I think it was like this. And that meant Murakumo was off. I had my Clovis and my Clovis and Solomon, like boosting the attack power of my Arc Crisis by dealing burn and by dealing the piercing. And I also like explained it to him. Like, I'm going to chain 1 Arc Crisis to negate all monsters on field. Chain 2 because I used Clovis. I think chain 2 is Solomon to target the Arc Crisis to give him like the burn effect for the monsters that you burn for the attack points of the card. No. It was not Arc Crisis. It was like the Arc Crisis summon. He chained Futsu to it, which is totally fine. It was a legal play. Like, again, I'm misremembering stuff. It was the Arc Crisis summon that he chained the Futsu to, or had the Futsu trigger to bring out the Murakumo. But since I had like Arc Crisis, I could like Arc Crisis negate, because Arc Crisis is like priority in my opinion, if I'm correct there. But again, no matter how the chain resolves, the Murakumo is like negated, I think. And what happened was he thought he could Nibiru me then. But I had Sky Zeus on field the whole time. I think I had the Sky Zeus on field for like 5 minutes at this point. Like way before I intended even to summon my Arc Crisis. So I negated the Nibiru and he stood in the game. And I was like, okay, cool, you have another out? And I attacked and I said, also didn't use Ragnarok effect this turn, so I could deal full damage. Attack over this in attack position, deal 4k damage. And he was like, what? It's 800. It's Murakumo. 3200 minus like 4000 minus 3, minus 33, 32 is 800. And I was like, no. I had Wise King Solomon target Arc Crisis. I'm dealing your attack points as damage as well. And then I attacked a defense position monster. And I was like, yeah, that is... I don't know what it was. I think it was the Futsu. So I was like another 2000 burn and piercing for 600. So you're 26 down. And he was like, what? And I said it to you, like Clovis means all my monsters deal piercing. And then he just grabbed his cards and left. So I won that round and was 2-3. Which, like Michael said, don't be like this opponent. Just try to be a human being, interact with my opponent. It makes it a lot more enjoyable. And again, it was like a really weird game. The vibes were off. Like, all of my other opponents were super friendly. Like, of course, some are like not like socially like super talkative or something. Like, I'm a fairly outgoing person, not as much as I was like in my early 20s, late teens. Like, I was like super outgoing, super extroverted. Like, I'm not anymore. I'm way more introverted than I was back then. But I think I'm like fairly easygoing if you like don't know me and you're sitting across me at the table. And I might not like all of that. And if you like floodgate me, I'm not going to like that. And I'm not going to say, that is a cool card, buddy. And I'm more like, what am I supposed to do about that? But it's just like in a light way and not like my life depends on it. But that guy was weird. So I don't know. Maybe they had just a bad day, which it is what it is. Like, if it is a bad day, it is a bad day. And we had 2 rounds left. The next round, I was like 100% to play another Mitsurugi. I also was like 2-1 against Mitsurugi, so I had like a good track record against it. And it was against Yami. You can make basic small talk, absolutely. Like, especially if you're at table 500, you can make some small talk because it's like not going about, like, you're not playing for the invite, you're not playing for the goddamn playmat or the deck box. You're just playing there because you want to play. So, I don't know. Yami was like a cool game as well. Like, opponent was like the entire opposite of the opponent that I had in round 5, because he was like super chill. He was like making jokes here and there, and was like super funny about cantapping me. I think it was twice or thrice in my opening turn because I won the die roll. And I had like a Nightmare Throne, I had my gate, my contract with a gate, and I think I had another starter. I think I even had like a queen. And he had like an Ash for the Nightmare Throne. Oh no, he had Perch on the contract. I had like only 2 starters. But I thought like 2 starters, that's way more than enough with my DDD deck. So I can just start to play. And if they stop one, okay, it's just that. But they stopped both. And they had Perch, which was like, are they playing Yami or Blue Eyes? And I was like basically getting prepared for both, but I somehow knew it was Yami. And it was. Like, I had just, for another interaction in my hand, I had just an Ash, which is definitely not enough against Yami. So I sided in my Darkness contract, which is an FTK against Yami. Yami just can't play under the contract if they have like no way to get like 2 bodies on field with an extra deck monster, so they make SP and banish the contract. That is the only way they can get into place. And game 2 they couldn't. I had like a full board, had my Darkness contract. I got super polyed and didn't flip up early enough, but they did it in draw phase with priority, so I couldn't even flip up. They played around that because they knew I added this card, so I got super polyed on my Machinex and Sky Zeus, but the contract established on the field is like not anything that they can deal with. And game 3 was kind of weird. I had like stopped them a bit, I think, with the draw on their game, like their setup turn, because that meant they can still do like a lot. It's goddamn Yami, but a draw is like slowing them down just a bit. So I had Raigeki because I knew that was good into Yami, and I Raigeki them. So they had a surprise to get back a synchro to go on playing. It was quite a back and forth, and they had 2 hand traps. It was again Perch and Ash, and I had again 2 starters, Kepler and my Dark contract with the gate. Both get stopped. I stopped their push on the next turn then, and I didn't draw playable, and they had like the Marshmallow, I think, for the next turn after that, and that is enough to kill me basically, which meant I could have drawn a starter. Again, if I had Dark Spirit Mastery, maybe I would have drawn a starter. Maybe I could have like played into the field that was basically non-existent. I think they only had an Ash Blossom, so I maybe could have done something. I don't know. They don't have an Ash Blossom, they had an SP, I think. And maybe with my hand I could have like pushed through that. I don't know what my hand was at this time. But it was enough in the end. I lost. I was 2-4. And I was like, yep, let's end the game with a 3-4 record. So I'm like not 2 and 5. That would have been like disappointing. And pairings go live. I go to my seat, and my opponent isn't showing up. And I was like back to back with someone whose opponent wasn't showing up as well. And like the TO, like Kaito, comes over and was like, yeah, if you're done, maybe just check out the stream again. And I was like, yeah, sure. It's the last game. I'm not expecting like to go into time or anything, because I can't go into time, I know, but like that was basically what I said. And opponent was like the other guy in my back was like, yeah, I don't know where is my opponent. Like there was also a judge present who said like, if they're not showing up in like 10 minutes, just let me know and I will give you a win. And we were both sitting there, and I was like noticing he was like without an opponent, and he just looked over, like not really noticing who was there. And I was like, yeah, I don't have an opponent as well. Do you want to just play after like the 10 minutes are over? Just play short game? He was like, yeah, sure. And the 10 minutes are over. I get up, he gets up, he just looks at me and was like, you're the DDD dude from the stream, right? We go to the judge table, and I say, yeah, I think it was table 39 didn't arrive. And he was like, yeah, table 44 didn't arrive as well. And the other one was like, dude, what are you talking about? You're not at table 44, you're at table 39. And in that moment, we just noticed we were both sitting with our backs at each other. And he didn't come over because he didn't act refresh his Neuron app to see the pairings and the correct table, because he had his old table set up and didn't see it was against me. And I was like, you want to play anyways? And he was like, I'm not playing against you. You're playing DDD and I'm not playing against that shit. So I had a free win. That was my experience for game 7, which, let's be honest, was fair in my assumption. If you don't want to play against a deck where you have to read every card, I think it's not a fun experience, especially not in round 7 after a long day with 120 people in a small, like, first floor of a card shop. I think it was like a very fair assessment of him to say like, nope, I'm not playing against you. So that was my experience. Did I think I could have done better? Yes. Like, I think match 1 was maybe winnable. Match 2 was winnable. Match 4 was just unfortunate. I think there was nothing that could be done about that. Match 5 I won. Match 6 was like the yummy game. I think this was also like, if my starters get stopped immediately, I don't think I had ways around that. Like, sometimes it is just like that. Deck building could have saved me there. Maybe Dark Spirit Masteries could have saved me there. I don't know. Like, in my heart, I feel like I could have gone 4-3 or even 5-2 if I had prepared a bit more and not just switch decks like 2 days before the event, because I was not on DDD for most of my preparation. I was on DDD for some time, but I switched to Mitsurugi Dogmatica because that was my deck of choice. Why? This deck has a cute little mechanic that I wanted to like use. I like Nadir's Servant. This is in Mitsurugi Dogmatica a starter or a breaker. And I like cards like this. Cards that have multiple functions. Like if I draw them in game 1 or like in my turn 2, they can fill the same or different functions. like as a breaker or as a starter. So what I also played, and I don't know where he is. He's like gone. Like absolutely vanished. Probably here somewhere. There he is. One Maximus. And one Dogmatika Fleur-de-Lis with Thunderbolt. This was the deck I prepared most of the time with. I didn't pick it in the end because I was afraid of people over-preparing for Mitsurugi. And I think my assumption was correct. Was my deck choice of DDD correct? I don't know. I had fun in most of the games, so I think it was correct. Should I have picked this deck if I wanted to have more success? Also maybe. I don't know. Because like the Dogmatika engine in this deck is super cool. You're not expecting this, and you're also getting plays if you're getting like stopped on the ritual. Like, or through D-Barrier. You could play like through that. Like how? I'm going to show you just a second. This is also my extra deck. I had like also ways to counter Lunar Light in this card. The Perfume Dancer, which is super cool tech. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Basically, Nadir Servant sends Garura for max. Garura draws a card, like any blank. And then you banish Garura with a Maximus or 4 Maximus, and then you can send Herald and Titaniclad. And Titaniclad in end phase gives you a search for Fleur-de-Lis. And the Herald gives you a search for the Habakiri. That on itself is a lot of advantage. It is advantage because you can see what your opponent is sending to the grave. Unfortunate part is if they have like a Herald and a Ritual engine, they can send that off and get their search for a Ritual card. But it gives you knowledge. Like if they are just on Yami, they have to send the shit. Yeah, like it's not they are getting around it. This searches Fleur-de-Lis during the end phase, and this is dear God. It's basically a hand trap, which can special summon itself if you I think if there is a special summon monster from the extra deck, yep, on the field. So if you have like anything to do before that, to link off something, or I don't know, overlay 2 level 4s, you can also make this, like special summon this, and then set from the deck a Dogmatika card, which is in most cases or scenarios, it's punishment. And you can set this, and this card can be flipped or used during the turn it was set if your opponent controls a monster from the extra deck with 2500 or more attack. So this can come up against the boosted Yummies from Mignon to punishment, or against Draco Tail. Like basically every Draco Tail triggers this. So I can use this and then send my breakers from the extra deck to the grave to like play on. And then on top I still have my entire Mitsurugi line, which I think is quite cool. Again, I ran into issues with people preparing or even over preparing for Mitsu, so I switched back to that. Why did you swap from Crystron K9? It was like very early out of my testing because I was like not really feeling it. It was like a feeling thing. Like I wasn't feeling it after the inclusion getting limited to 1, which felt like very hard as a hit, although it wasn't that hard, but it felt like so hard that I didn't want to play it. at that moment. And I wasn't like super confident with the K9 engine, which isn't like a really good reason. I should have just played that if I wanted to have a good result, but it wasn't like I didn't felt it. I haven't felt it, and that was like reason enough for me to not play it. I had a Super Poly engine in this deck. Again, a lot of cards that can and want to be sent from extra deck to grave. Also, this card, although you can like or have like ways in engine through like Wosu to out a Liger Dancer, this card outs their entire field. Because if this is in grave, you can banish it from grave, and your opponent's monsters lose, or like, wait, you can banish this card from your grave. During this turn, your opponent's monsters lose attack, like attack in, they lose as much as attack as they have like base defense. So I don't know, Liger Dancer is going down to an 800 monster, because Liger Dancer is unaffected by all card effects except for Lunar Light cards, which this is. So having this as a Nadir Servant target, or like any card that sends from extra deck to grave, is kind of funny. Gotta be honest, it's super funny to just send this and say, banish. Yeah, Liger Dancer is small now. I can run over it with anything. It is really cool. I didn't play against Lunar Light once. I didn't play against Dracotail once. I didn't play against any K9 variant, which was a bit disappointing overall, but it is what it is. Right. That was my regional experience. I had a lot of fun. I set up the stream. I played against Blitzu for everyone. Obviously I did. And I did fight the good fight and won twice out of 3 games. So I'm giving myself a pat on the back. Alright. It's 1:19 right now. I've talked for like 1.5 hours nearly about like my regional. And I think I'm going to upload it like this, just adding out the pause that I had. And that's it. Yep. Thank you if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. For the YouTube guys, if you're seeing this on YouTube, leave a like if you liked it. And if you watched until the end, just comment Thunderbolt for Dogmatika Fleur de Lis. The Thunderbolt, just comment that, just Thunderbolt. And I know you've been watching till the end. Top card YCS Dortmund next. I have seen that Dortmund is 300th YCS in Germany. My issue is Dortmund is on Valentine's Day. And I don't think I can sell this to my wife. But like, I really would like to go there. I also like really would like to go to I think the German Open. I don't know, they are in Mönchengladbach, I think. Which is November 1st, which is soon, surprisingly. But right now I am focusing on maybe I'm going to the OTS Championship this weekend. And right now I have my eyes set on this deck, which I'm trying out. It's like not super serious right now. It's just an idea, and right now it doesn't feel good. You can see it's a lot of Orchust, K9, but not just Orchust K9. It is a pile. It's K9 Orchust. This is a better Orchust representative. And Mitsurugi. Why am I playing all three in a 60 card pile? I tried to apply the reasoning that Triff applied to his Pendulum Mitsurugi Yummy Hungry Burger pile, because that is kind of funny. And I was like applying the same logic to this pile, because like Mitsurugi Orcust is a thing. Canine Orcust is a thing. Canine Mitsurugi, as we've seen in YCS Anaheim, is a thing. So why not just throw them all together in one pile? And I can tell you, it's right now not a thing. Right now, this shit is bricky as hell. So you just play all three and pray. You know what the issue is? I'm going to do a test hand. Just one before I go to bed. Right? Also copied the approach going for more breakers than I play hand traps. Also, those are in the main as well. There are more. Just a few hand traps. Droll, I think, is kind of necessary. Maybe not. Maybe I will cut the drolls. I'm not sure on this, but mostly go for breakers. So this is right now what I'm working on, and really it hasn't been working great. My issue that I found myself in is that I had too many cards that I kind of want to normal summon and I kind of can't normal summon. Like, sure, Habakiri itself is crazy as a starter and you don't need a normal summon. But a lot of cards that I have in here are just weird to open like together. Like putting this over here, like also the extra deck is not really fine-tuned, because you need more cards than you have space for. It's also like an option in the extra deck. The main deck is not that big of an issue because it's 60 cards. So also I can like turn on music again, because it's not going to be turned into YouTube video anymore. Or potentially. So let's do like a test hand. And we are drawing. I'm playing Runic, MST, and one Onomodrizer. Yeah, that is kind of cool. And see again, that is what I mean. This is not a bad hand. But those two cards you kind of don't want to open together. Because both kind of take your normal summon. That's the issue that I'm running in most of the time. That I have two normal summons in hand. Like, sure, this sends also like learning the lines. I'm not really good with Orcust right now. Sends Harp, and then I will get my token. Where's my face? Token to my opponent's field and here. Also not like middle zone, that is not good, like it should be more here. Link off the token for Galatea I. Galatea I, discard Fuvalos, which is dead. For Fable. And now, again, you have to make choices, and that is what I don't like about the Canine and Orcust cards together. Because if you're playing like this, you kind of have the issue if you banish like Harp. Most of the time you get the Nightmare. Nightmare. What the hell is Nightmare? Are you fucking with me? Where's my Nightmare? There. Nightmare like here. And that is when it's sent. I can target a monster that just gains any attack, so I can like link those off. For the old Galatea, then Black Knight Orcus like Nightmare. Is it banish? Yes, I can banish this. Okay, so this targets to send the wand. And I have to think. One is like banishing itself for a banished Orcus, right? So you get like Harp Horror back. Then is the question, where do we go next? Orcus Automaton for Bench Machine, shuffle it into the deck, then you can set a spell trap. I kinda want to set this back because this can in your hand do a lot of stuff again. So I can set myself the Crescendo. If I can find it right at the back. It always is. Can set the Crescendo. Then we make Ding. Ding could attach this, but I think I can add this back to hand through the Link 4 if I'm correct. Then I can... No, that is not correct. Ding is here not correct. I think the correct choice is actually, in this case, to go for the Link 4 already. For Enlil Girsu. And now I can use Galatea Eye to banish Girsu. Special summon itself out. What else do I want to do? I think I also like fucked up the line somewhere. I really have to like get better with this. Activate Babel, but then I can also like go for prayers. Prayers is search for I normal summon, so it's like Tsurugi Habakiri. Habakiri effect in hand. Saji, tribute. Prayers. Yes, ritual from hand. Yeah, this. Send another blue one. Trigger effect search. Oh no, don't send this. Send Aramasa and Kusanagi. It's also not correct. Oh wait, I can still make it work. This is still my hand. Chain 1, Kusanagi, chain 2. I don't even know if I want to chain Aramasa because I don't have I don't have many targets left in deck, but I can do this. So I get Ritual back, get another Habakiri, Ritual, the Habakiri from hand by tributing from hand. And then I could activate the Habakiri effect for either Mirror or Prayers for follow-up. And if it's my first turn, I could also overlay them for Zombie Vampire, discarding this because we kind of want access to it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck that shit. This. And I needed another link material back then before I went into Endless Yesu because I needed the Yesu Engrave. And I still also haven't dumped the symbol skeleton engrave, which doesn't mean I can't even reborn the Yesu. So I don't know. I'm really fumbling the lines right now. And probably because I'm way too tired right now. So I'm going to call it a day and go to bed. It's really, really late and I have to get up in 4.5 hours. God. Saying it out loud is making it worse. So I'm going to go. Have a good one. And maybe I will tinker with this a bit later, and it's probably not going to include all 3. Maybe I will just decide for 2. Alright, have a good one. Bye bye.